there, fellow redheads, blondes, brunettes, etc. My name is, of course, Redhead Edition, and welcome to a video talking about Gamercon 2017. So yesterday, March 18th, me and two friends decided to go up to Dublin, to the convention centre beside the Liffey, to go to Gamercon 2017. Now, Gamercon is a European gaming convention event, and because of this, we thought it would be very well organised, very efficient, and, just a very, very nice place to be. No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. It was a complete and utter shambles. I've got some clips to back this up as well, and I've got my points written down on Microsoft Notepad, so I can have a look while I'm recording this right now, but let's move on to point number one, because this may end up being very long. So point number one, the queues. We arrived at about 10:30 in the morning outside the convention centre, and because we'd arrived kind of early enough in the morning, we thought the queues would be moving along, there wouldn't be that many people there, and we'd get in very easily because we'd VIP tickets as well, and we wouldn't have any issues. Nope, it was a complete and utter shambles, and it was utter chaos. I've got a clip for this, so I'm going to roll that clip right now. Oh my god. So from that clip you can see that we are at the back of the queue on the left, and if you look closely you can see on the other side of our queue there is a queue coming the other way, and there are two queues joining as in a Y junction trying to go into one place. Now this is just stupidity. This is just Irish kind of, efficiency for you. Now, and then they decided to move us down the street. They moved our entire queue behind the other queue on the other side of the road, making the queue block the entire street by just blocking the pavement and going the whole way down almost to the bloody Docklands. It was that big. And we were sitting there for, we'll say, about 15 minutes just moving in a queue, moving in a queue, moving in a queue, moving in a queue, moving in a queue. It was just ridiculous. And then eventually we got to go past because we had VIP tickets, so we were lucky enough. But the queue wrapped around the entire building. I'm not even joking. It wrapped around the entire building, and they had about 5,000 people going through one set of bloody double doors. It doesn't make any sense. There was one set of double doors that were supposed to bring everybody in. And bear in mind, we couldn't use the front door because apparently that was an exit door. But there was two massive revolving doors that they could have used. And one set of double doors, two people scanning tickets. Utter ridiculousness. It was just utter stupidity. The staff were overworked, which is going to go on to my third point. But secondly, I'm going to move on to my second point right now. So point number two is the capacity of the convention centre. So, we don't get conventions often in Ireland, so they should have really seen that this was probably going to be a busy event. So they should have just sold the amount of tickets that they had and leave it at that. No, they wanted money, so they oversold the event by 12,000 tickets. I'm not even joking. The capacity of the convention centre is 5,000. And on Saturday, yesterday, there were 12,000 people looking to get into the event, and the place was utterly jammed. It was just a horrible experience. There were people sitting in the middle of the event, and there was no room to move. Now, we got in fairly early, so we were lucky in that regard. But once you got into the main kind of body of the convention centre, it was just jostling for position. At the GameStop stand, you had to push to get through people, and you had to, I didn't like doing that. It's just so weird. I don't like doing it. It's just, you know what I mean. You get me. But just when you go to a convention centre, you assume that they have the room to fit what they need, but they didn't, and it was just utter ridiculousness. And now this convention spanned 2 floors, and they had to stop people going up the escalators because there was just so many people. They were queuing for the escalators. The fucking escalators. And the place was filled. You had to jostle to get through everybody. They had to stop people at the doors to stop them coming in because the place was utterly jammed. People were turned away at the door because they had oversold the tickets and they were fucking greedy. And you were turning away kids who got tickets for Christmas, for their birthdays, and this was just it was just actually sad seeing people walking away. And I saw a tweet from them saying that they had dealt with the queues. They they sent everybody home. That's what happened. They sent everybody home. And it was just so sad to see. The place was filled, of course, but you just couldn't turn people away like that, because people had spent so much money on hotels, train tickets, plane tickets even. And, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with what they did. They are offering refunds, but it took them about 6 hours to address people's complaint. And it was just, I wouldn't recommend going to Gamercon. But I have another point to go on to now, so that's what I'm going to do. So point number 3, the understaffing of the event and the treatment of the staff as well. So this morning, actually, Owen linked me to a tweet that someone put out, or a Facebook post that someone had put out and put it on Twitter. It was one of the people who was working at the event, and how badly organised it was, and how the staff were actually treated. So let's start off at the beginning, shall we? So he says at 7 a.m. in the morning, they were setting up the consoles, and that everyone had set up their consoles. And then they realised that every single game needed to have an update, and that they forgot to fucking download Street Fighter for the tournaments, and they had to do a 144 gigabyte download about an hour before the show started. Utter ridiculousness. But that's not the main point. The understaffing of the event was absolutely abysmal. Now, let's start off. 5,000 people, okay? 5,000 people at this event. How many people do you reckon were manning the stage floor? No, less. Less than that. Less again. Less. Five people. 5 people on the stage floor manning 5,000 people. That is fucking 1,000 to 1. 1,000 to 1. So one person's gonna work on 1,000 people. No, that of course that makes sense. That makes fucking sense. Yes. It's frustrating because these staff were getting so much abuse outside from angry parents because they weren't allowed in. It wasn't their fault. They were under so much pressure to get stuff done, and they were working with 1,000 people by themselves. It was just so badly done. And the queues, I'm going to go back to the queues now. The queues for the food stalls were ridiculous. They had 3 food stalls and all of them were full. It was utter ridiculousness. It was just so stupid. And there was actually a clip of outside the main doors of the convention center. There was a parent who was just giving utter abuse to the staff members. Now, I agree with what he was saying, but you can see that this person was under so much pressure, and he had to deal with these complaints all day. You could see it in his face. He was fed up. I actually heard a story that someone bit a staff member because they were so angry. And then I do not condone that. Do not fucking bite people. And Jesus Christ, these people were getting so much abuse. They were under so much pressure. And I'm recording this on Sunday. This is happening again. This is probably happening again because they sold 24,000 tickets over their limit. So they have another 12,000 tickets that they oversold. And I guarantee you that there won't be too much of a problem today because people are telling them not to fucking go. But I feel really sorry for the YouTubers and stuff who are supposed to be there, because they don't deserve this kind of event. They deserve to have a way better run event, because I mean, AR12 Nick made the trip all the way from Canada to come over here, and this is the shambles of an event he gets. Utter stupidity, ridiculousness. He deserves better than that. And also, these staff, they were supposed to work all day with no breaks. The guy who put this Facebook post, on Sunday, he was supposed to work from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. with only a half an hour break. Utter ridiculousness. And now, of course, he's not going in because he refuses to. And I applaud that man, because he deserves a break from all the stuff, all the shit he got yesterday. But the place was too small. The place was oversold. You had to queue for literally everything. I forgot to mention that. You had to queue for absolutely everything. No room to move, of course. As I mentioned, the place was too fucking small. And I don't know if I have a clip of the main lobby of the area when people were queuing for the escalator. I don't think I have. But you'd be able to get a general sense with a couple of the clips that I put up. There weren't enough exhibitors at it. It didn't really showcase enough people. Actually, one Logitech, they were supposed to be there. They just weren't. I guarantee you they weren't there because they didn't have the space for them. And I'm not even joking. That was probably the reason. And The merchandise area, you couldn't even get in to look at anything because people were just jostling for position with you. You're shoving, pushing and shoving. The place was warm, but that's just a convention center for you. It's warm, but it was just an utter complete shambles. The only thing that made it enjoyable was the friends I had with me, because at least we could experience it together. But I suppose I will overlay clips of the event over my rant here, just so you can kind of see what went on. But that's my rant about GamerCon 2017. I would not recommend going to it because, you know, I think I explained everything pretty well. That as the reason you shouldn't go. If you're gonna go to a convention, you may as well go abroad. The next convention I'm gonna go to is probably like EGX or something like that. I'm gonna go to EGX or something like that. E3 in the future if I get enough money. Like, just go to the big ones. Don't go to these ones that are badly run, badly organized, badly, like, the staff don't know what they're doing, etc, etc. But that's my rant done. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. So just as I was editing this video together, I saw this post by Dublin Comic Con and I thought I'd read it out to you, or put it on screen or something like that. I really do respect what they are saying, so I'm going to read it out to you. We here at Comic Con Ireland, which represents Dublin Comic Con, would like to assure our fans that we had no part in Gamercon that ran this weekend. We are in no way associated with the Gamercon event, even though it is held in our home, the Convention Centre Dublin. We are proud of our event and of this venue. For the last 2 years we have run a very successful show there and hope to carry on doing so into the future. We know the importance of ensuring the public safety and enjoyment, and on this basis we cap online ticket sales, with the balance being sold on the doors to ensure that we all have a great experience. There are many fantastic events of all genres, large and small, which are running throughout all the counties of Ireland that should not be tarnished with the same brush as Gamercon. These include such events as Kerry Comic Con, Celtic Throwdown, Kaizoku Con, Mindvention, Octocon, and many more. Our event is run by fans. We are customers, gamers, con goers ourselves. For fans, we aim to provide the best we can so that families, fans, and the general public have a fun-filled weekend. Please do not let events of the weekend put you off attending other well-organised shows, especially with your families. We are deeply sorry for all those who have been affected. Finally, on a personal note, we are upset to see the good work done over many years by other shows and volunteers become tarnished by the actions of one organisation. I think that is an absolutely fantastic post by Dublin Comic Con. I think it really just shows that there are other events out there and that you shouldn't, let that tarnish everything else that other people have done. I really do respect Dublin Comic Con there, so I hope you do too. I'm going to leave you on that note, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.